Stand up. Boys and girls, all of you stand up.
Square of the base and height of an rectangle triangle equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Here the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle. So here we have a right angle triangle with the base and height.
All students come out.
When we square the base and height and add it equal to the square.
Close your books, boys.
So we have 3
School,
squared
attention.
and 4 squared which is 6.
Select please. Close your eyes. Put it first row.
பொங்கலை போற்றரும் பொங்கலதாசனே ஒருவன் குடை போன்ற ஞாயிறு போல்
Happy morning, children. Happy morning.
second one is diagonal, which involves 45-degree angle or 135-degree angle, and it gives speed and reach. Third is triangular motion. So basic steps like Pradharshani, which gives stability and stance. Fourth one is counting and return to syllable. We are going to see about the attacking and counting sequence. 1 to 8 in attacking sequence. 1 to 4 in block sequence. And next is symmetry. So symmetry is one side in right side and another in left side, which gives us a triangle symmetry. And next is angles of attack. So this is 0 degree straight line and 45 diagonal. And next is freestyle. Whatever we have seen the techniques, it is combined in it.
பொண்ணுங்க படிக்கலாம் பையன்
So this gas sensor continuously detects the gas level in the air, and if it crosses the 100 dB, that's parts per million, it sends the data to the brain, and it shows that it's a warning, and it sends that it ons the buzzer, and it sends a notification to the user such that the user can see the notification across the country or a state. So can we do the Actually, we have used the blue prediction. We are having 3 upgrades in this. We want to add the LoRa technology so that it can be used across the country. And we want to add a regulator, add a high-power server. It will be connected to the gas regulator. So when gas regulator automatically turn off, and we want to connect an exhaust fan. So if in case a gas is being leaked, it will be set up.
observation. This is we made a lab that is ECG detector. We have ECG detectors, which is scan ECG arrhythmia detector. Arrhythmia is a special case, heart case, when the heart beats differently or there is a blockage in the heart. So doctors have to enter the cosine and trigonometrical values manually into a software. So it takes a long time for them to find out what type of heart problem they have. So this app, what it does, it just gets the image from the user, or that is the doctor, and and it calculates the trigonometrical values, and it just finds out what type of arrhythmia it is. You want to try it? Select this one. Yes. We have already loaded a few samples. Just try it. Actually, this game is human time text. How fast we react to something. So to test that, we made a game. So we can use a game and if 5 rounds means
So give action to it.
Fractals are geometric shapes which show self-similarity. Self-similarity means it takes its own pattern. And this is a Sierpinski triangle which you can explain about created by humans equated triangle. It is constructed by first equated triangle, and we are splitting into 4 equal parts, and we need to take the single part of it, and you can see it's all similarly equal, and we need to take this single part of 4 similar triangles, and we need to create everything by triangles. If we zoom the triangle, the same pattern shows everywhere. So this is a Sierpinski triangle. It shows the representation of a famous match fractal. So self-similarity has 3 types: exact, symmetrical, exact, statistic, and transient.
Happy morning, I am Sadhurin and today
today I'll be explaining about my project, the multi-script calculator. So first it works normally as a calculator. You enter a number and then you enter your second number and then you get the result. For example, if I get 1 and 2 and I multiply, I get 2. But this is like a normal calculator, right? We need something unique, right? So for that we added this. So we made some changes in the code so that if we enter numbers in other numeral systems such as Tamil numeral system, Hindi numeral system, Bengali and Chinese, it will work. For example, I am putting number 3 in Tamil numeral and then I am putting number 9 in Chinese numerals. And then if I multiply this, I will get 27, the correct answer. It has some more features also. For example, we can see the history, we can copy it for future purposes, or we can clear it. And then in settings, we can change the language that we want to see, and then we can change the mode we want to see.
So good evening to everyone. This is a robot. We call it as a Spyro robot. This robot is inspired from the natural spiders and it walks just like a natural spiders. So it has 4 legs through which it can balance itself, and in the center it has a microcontroller through which it can move, it can change its position and it can change its posture.
So it's not just a robot where we use it just for showing, but it's just we can use it even in places where two-wheelers can't go. It is a very useful thing where this robot is being useful for places where humans can't go, or a two-wheeler vehicle or object can't go. So we are looking forward to more further feature sensor or more features in this so that it will be more useful in futures.
This is used as a joint and this is used as a replicate which involves adding into a small space compact program.
So hi everybody, we are from grade 11E1. So we just made a game using HTML. The game, this is based on your reaction time. So this game name is reaction time based.
Reaction time is nothing but how fast a human can react to something. So here we are made a game so that when we click here, it turns red. When it turns to green, how fast we click means the score will be visible here. If your score is higher than 500, then it is average. But you got a score lower than 500, it will show that it is excellent. What category it will show here, and your results will be showing at right hand side of the screen.
Thank you. So hi everybody, we are from grade 11E1. So we just made a game using HTML. The game, this is based on your reaction time. So this game name is reaction time based.
Reaction time is nothing but how fast a human can react to something. So here we are made a game so that when we click here, it turns red. When it turns to green, how fast we click means the score will be visible here. If your score is higher than 500, then it is average. But you got a score lower than 500, it will show that it is excellent. What category it will show here, and your results will be showing at right hand side of the screen.
Thank you.
Myself, Prabhu, I'm from grade level E1. I developed a KRM called Flappy Bird, which is my own version of SuperCAD. And the language I used to develop this game is Python. I used a 3.10 version, and I imported 4 libraries called T-Kit, which is used to access the GUI interface, InSound, which is used to access the sound effects, and also OS to access the reason function of the game. And the data types that I used are tuple, list, string, and the dictionary functions. And also I used for load since it allows smooth transition between resetting the game function, and I didn't go for a while loop because it does not help in reset function.
Happy morning.
We are from grade 11 A1. Myself is Raj, is Philippines, and is Sujit. So our topic is you games made by AI versus game made by human. Yeah, so we made this game using ChatGPT. This game occupies around 10 kilobytes of space, and there are many glitches and flaws in this game. So if we do this, it is going straightly, which makes the game not interesting. But whereas the games made by humans are really perfect and it requires a lot of space.
This concludes that games made by AI gets only less storage, but games made by human takes a lot of storage and a lot of time to make it. As we can use this AI game for a simple purpose, we can give it to you. Thank you.
Greetings, audience. We are a group of 11 members. So today we are going to discuss AI uses for medical purposes. It provides basic remedies for basic law of fever, etc. So let us see. We created this AI with the coding of HTML so that it works like a user-friendly AI. And this way helps to solve the medical issues in a
The main purpose of this AI is to guide people to safe and natural ways to take care of their health.
Project, ma'am. We can do it by ID card, bell.
No, they do. If you wear a uniform, everything.
It will be. We will be giving.
This model demonstrates the reflective principle of parabola. When we roll this marble down the side, it goes fully focused. The
Very well, very well done. What's your name?
கலை போற்றதும் திங்களை போற்றதும் கொங்கலதாட்சணி ஒரு வெட்குடை போன்ற அங்கனுலகலிதலா ஞாயிறு போற்றதும் ஞாயிறு போற்றதும் காவிரி நாடன் திகிரி போல் போர் கோடு மேலுவன் திரிதலா மாமழை போற்றதும் மாமழை போற்றதும் நாமனில் வேலி உலகில் கவனரி போல் மேலிருந்தால் சுரதலா Asatoma sargamaya tapasoma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We kindly request.
Thank you for the introduction. Happy morning to all of you. With the blessings of Almighty and our beloved Dean R.J. Master, we are celebrating 15th Maths Exposition. I would say, Mathematics Computer Science Exposition. My dear friend, human brain has a different skill set. Different part is being meant for or responsible for the different areas which is required for the better human living. He used to conduct the literary clubs, literary expositions to project their level of imagination and creativity. Similarly, for this Maths and Computer Science Exposition, how I am looking into it is nothing to develop on logical areas. When man started questioning his growth assured. Ahmedabad, I had a chance to visit Gandhiji Sabarmati Ashram. There in the entrance itself you could see Gandhiji changed his thinking, he became Mahatma Ji. So thinking is a foremost area that we have to focus, that has to be the main expectation of any educational outcome. We are studying in the school, not to just memorize something, not to write the examination, not to have and enjoy with our friends alone, but something more, that is to transform our thinking. Transformation of the thinking has made many scientists in this world, made any innovative projects in this world. That is what today's practices are about. All the 3,000 plus children, except the kindergarten, they have started involving themselves today into making some projects in the line of mathematics and computer science. So it's going to be a feast for all of us to go around and to see and discuss with them and find out what they have done differently today. My dear friends, when we think about the maths, when we think about the computer science, when we think about the logical thinking, and only one person comes in my mind, and none other than our Revathy ma'am, Mrs. Revathy Parameswaran. though I know her for years, but many times our maths teacher used to come and share with me, sir, I have attended maths workshop, this is extraordinary. There are a lot of tips we learned and that we are going to convey to our children. So that pretext, recently I learned that she has gotten award from the President of India, National Award. She is the principal of PS Senior Secondary School, one of the top schools in the country. Many great personalities have been grown from that particular school, and she is one of the architects of many students. Previously, she worked with the Sankara Senior Secondary School, another popular school in Adayar, and she has got many awards. The Best Teacher Award for her outstanding merit in 2010 by the Ramanujan Maths Academy, merit for her meritorious service in PS Education Society in 2022, and she was awarded the Fulbright Distinguished Teachers Award by the United States Department of State, and spent a semester in the University of Maryland. She was awarded accreditation as a global teacher by the British Council for the year 2022-23. She was awarded Sri Kola Perumal Chetty Best Teacher Award for the year 2016-17, the Education Stalwarts of the Year Award in 2022 by the Education Today. She's got a Best Researcher Award by Association of Private Schools of Tamil Nadu. She was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award for her service in the field of education and training by Lions Club International District 3241. She also honored for her contribution to education by His Excellency Sri R. N. Ravi, the Governor of Tamil Nadu. Lady Kalyani Srasamy Iyer Best Teacher Award she received in the year 2024. She is the recipient of the Best Teacher Award 2025 from Pudiya Thalaimurai, Chennai. As the top of all these things, as I mentioned earlier, she has received the National Award for Teachers 2024 from the Honorable President of India on 5th September, that is on Teacher Day this year. Apart from that, Best Teacher Award from Wales University, Pallavaram in 18 September 2025. She has attended various conferences, presented papers in the International Conference Episteme at HBCSE Mumbai in 2007, Conference in International Group of Psychology of Mathematics Education held at Seoul in 2007, International Conference of Mathematics Education and again Seoul in 2012, International Conference of Mathematical Education again Sydney in 2024. Like she has her international contribution is also need to be mentioned. She has attended the strategic leadership for schools in changing environment conducted by IIM Ahmedabad. She has attended various workshops. She has conducted various workshops. Still she is conducting. And one of the workshops she has conducted here in our school as a resource person for the CBSE. And she has published various research papers in international journals in the topics of individual strategies for problem solving, on understanding the notion of limits and infinitesimal quantities, abstract definitions, what they mean to expert mathematicians, understanding the Rolle's theorem, understanding the abstract definitions of graphs, a case study in discrete mathematics, understanding of irrational numbers to appear in conference proceedings, like her contribution to the mathematics and education goes beyond. On behalf of all of you and the management and the team of my teachers, let me take a pleasure of welcoming you. Thank you.
Sincerely, thank you for your presence and for being a motivation to our students, ma'am.
everything, how do we still make right decisions?
We don't guess, we update our beliefs. Data is everywhere, but decision comes from how we understand it. In the world flooded with information, the real intelligence lies not in collecting data, but in reasoning with uncertainty.
Yes, that intelligence is called Bayesian intelligence, and that's the core idea behind the Bayes theorem. And with this idea at the heart of our research, let's step into our presentation. A very happy morning to one and all present here. This is Tarika and
Sanvi
from grade 11 here to present our research paper titled Bayesian Intelligence from Data to Decisions. Bayes theorem is a mathematical formula related to probability that is used to calculate the conditional probability of an event using prior data and the new evidence. This research highlights how Bayes theorem is used to interpret the medical test results accurately without any misjudgments.
The primary objective of this research is to explore and refine its ability to systematically calculate conditional probabilities and update our beliefs based on new data. This research also aims to improve the decision-making process in uncertain situations across various fields. It focuses on enhancing the understanding of probabilistic reasoning, developing methods to integrate prior knowledge with new data, and to apply this theorem in real-life problems such as diagnostics, predictions, and classifications.
Around 1760, Reverend Thomas Bayes, who is an 18th century mathematician, has introduced the Bayes theorem by working on a mathematical problem on how to calculate the probability of an event, and also has written an essay towards solving a problem in the doctrine of chances. And that essay is the core foundation of the Bayes theorem which we are learning now. Now, let's take an example to understand about Bayes theorem. Now, we have two boxes, box 1 and box 2. The probability of selecting the box 1 is P of E1 and the probability of selecting the box 2 is P of E2, which is equal to 1 by 2. And in box 1, we have 2 black papers and 4 white papers. In box 2, we have 4 black papers and 2 white papers. Now, Sanvi, can you take a paper from box 1? Yes, we have got a white paper. In this, if we apply all these data into the Bayes theorem formula, we get the probability of getting white paper from bag 1 is more by 66% than that of getting black paper, which is 33%, and vice versa from box 2.
Tarika, can you select a paper from box 2? And as we expected, we got black paper, as the probability of getting black paper from box 2 was more by 66%. Scope of the study. This study focuses on understanding the theoretical foundation of Bayes theorem, its historical development, and its importance in modern probability theory. This also involves simple numerical examples to illustrate the working of the theorem and discuss its advantages, limitations, and relevance in today's data-driven world. The research is confined to conceptual understanding, practical application, and case-based explanations rather than advanced mathematical derivation. The methodology we used for this research follows a qualitative approach. Secondary data has been used for this research, and we use some of the case studies from medical and email spam detection.
Now, let's see how this Bayes theorem has been published and come into the modern mathematics. After Thomas Bayes, his friend Richard Price found the unpublished article which was written by Thomas Bayes and published it in the Royal Society in 1763. Later, Pierre-Simon Laplace, who generalized it, popularized it into the modern mathematics.
Now let us see few of the, this is the formula for Bayes theorem, and now let's see few of the applications of Bayes theorem.
The first one is spam filtering. It classifies emails as spam based on the content and the sender's info. Medical diagnosis. It prevents the diseases
likelihood based on the test results and symptoms. Weather forecasting. It predicts the current weather conditions using the past historical data.
In machine learning, Bayes' theorem is used to classify data into categories using probabilistic models. In finance, it is used to assess risk and predict market trends using probabilistic updates. In forensic, it is used to analyze evidence to identify suspects or causes. Now let us see some advantages of Bayes' theorem. So we start with the prior knowledge, and as new data come in, we update to a posterior probability. This is perfect for dynamic systems like medical diagnosis and spam filtering.
The other main advantage is that Bayes' theorem gives a clear probabilistic distribution and a perfect conclusion instead of giving a single yes or no answer.
Now let us see few case studies.
Case study 1. There is a 45-year-old man who is a chain smoker and addicted to smoking for many years. He visits a doctor complaining of persistent cough, chest pain, breathlessness and fatigue. The doctor observes that these symptoms are associated with lung cancer, but these symptoms may also be due to some other lung diseases like bronchitis or any other infection. However, no test results can be 100% accurate. The doctor prescribes him for lung cancer screening test like biopsy or CT scan.
Now, using realistical medical data, let us assume that the probability that the 45-year-old heavy smoker has lung cancer be 0.05 or 5%, and the probability that the person does not have cancer is 100 minus 5, which is 95%. The probability that the test result is positive and the person has cancer is 90%, and the probability that the test result is positive even if the person does not have cancer is 100 minus 90, which is 10%. By applying these, now what the doctor wants to know is the probability that the person has cancer given that the test result is positive. To find that, we are going to apply these data in the Bayes' theorem formula and we get the answer as 32%. So with this, they move on further whether further tests need to be taken.
From this, we can say that even though the patient is a smoker and he has symptoms of lung cancer and the test results are positive, there are only 32% of chances of getting cancer for that particular patient. Now, let's move on to case study 2. A woman visits a doctor showing symptoms of COVID-19 such as fever, cough, cold and fatigue. The doctor recommends a COVID diagnostic test to check whether she is infected or not. Since the medical test results are not 100% accurate, Bayes' theorem is used to calculate the probability that the woman actually has COVID given that her test result is positive.
Now let us assume C to be the event that the woman has COVID and D plus to be the event that the COVID test result is positive. Now using realistical medical data, the probability that the woman has COVID is 5% and the probability that the test result is positive even and she has COVID to be 95%. Now again, as we apply these data in the Bayes' theorem formula, we get the answer to be 33%.
From this, we can say that even though the patient has the symptoms of COVID-19 and the test results are positive, she has only 33% of being infected.
Let us see the last case study,
which is spam filtering and a key application of Bayes' theorem. We have the past historical data in which out of all the emails, we have 40% of emails are spam. And the probability of the email being spam is 0.4, and the 60% of emails are not spam, in which the probability of the email being not spam is 0.6. Basically, in spam emails, we get words like free, discount, sale, etc. So the word free appears in 50% of spam emails and in 10% of non-spam emails. If we apply all these data into the Bayes' theorem formula, we get the answer as 0.77, in which the email containing the word free has 77% of chances chances of being spam. So the spam filter will classify it as spam email or a legitimate email.
Findings. From all these three case studies, what we can say is that Bayes' theorem is applied in real-life medical diagnosis, which is it helps doctor to estimate the test result very accurately and prevents any panics. And in spam filtering, it is used to detect whether a given email is spam or legitimate.
Now, let us see few limitations. The main limitation is that for Bayes' theorem, the prior data, which is the past data, is very much important to calculate the Bayes' theorem. If the prior data is not available, then that would become very difficult to calculate the Bayes' theorem.
And if the number of variables are more, then calculating the denominator or integrating over high dimensional spaces becomes impractical. Therefore, it requires approximation methods which leads to complexity and time.
As the past data is very much important, if the past data becomes wrong and it gives a wrong conclusion.
If the prior and observed data clash strongly, the posterior still may be pulled towards prior, leading to delayed learning.
In conclusion, Bayes' theorem plays a vital role in understanding and managing uncertainty in real-life situations. It forms a bridge between mathematics and the real-world applications and the problem solving. By combining prior knowledge with the new evidence, it provides a systematic and logical method to update the probabilities and make informed decisions. Therefore, the study of Bayes' theorem is essential for developing analytical thinking and understanding how mathematics influences the real-world problem solving and decision making in the modern world.
Future scope. Bayesian reasoning will be a foundational tool in data science, machine learning and decision making. Its integration with AI and data science will make it relevant and impactful in the future. So we began by saying that data is everywhere and decision comes from understanding. Bayes' theorem gives that understanding a structure and uncertainty a logic.
And Bayesian intelligence reminds us that it's not about being right for the first time, it's about being willing to revise and update. And that's why it turns uncertainty into understanding and from data into decisions. From this, we conclude our exploration of Bayesian intelligence. Thank you. Have a great day.
A very happy morning to one and all present here. Myself Manoj and this is my fellow mate Yogesh. We are here to present our topic based on how could quantum computing revolutionize drug discovery.
Happy morning to one and all present here. So our topic, how could quantum computing could revolutionize drug discovery, is based on drug discovery, and let's see how it works. So they're facing many problems in the classical computing method of finding the drugs. So in order to find a drug, we need to first simulate the behavioral changes and behavioral molecules of the drug molecules which is being used here. It is a very complex task as per the classical limits of the computer. So here comes our topic, quantum computing, which uses qubits and superposition and entanglements to boost up the process by finding many possibilities of molecules simultaneously. It also gives us the simulation power to the quantum circuit. And then quantum computing isn't about running the equation or solving the equation faster. It is about solving the problems in the industrial drug discovery in a very quicker and a faster manner. So the key for quantum computing is variation eigensolver algorithms. These algorithms helps us to bind the charges and find the electronic structures of the drugs. So now let's see where quantum computing is being applied. Quantum computing is being applied in molecule stimulation design and then protein folding problems, and then in quantum machine learning. So our presentation will be concluded by Manoj.
Yeah, finally I want to conclude that quantum computing is not a technological upgrade. It's just a necessary tool used for solving chemistry problems and providing medicines to the patient in a quicker and a faster manner. Thank you.
respected principal, honorable teachers, and dear students. It's a privilege. Can you hear me? It's a rare privilege to be here. I feel humbled and honored to be a part of this Maths Expo. And it was wonderful to see many of you engaged in actual learning, in experiential learning. Today, the way or the landscape of education keeps on changing, and it is changing at an exponential rate. There was a day when learning formulae and solving problems from the textbook was sufficient. Today, mathematics has taken a wholly different perspective. You need to ask questions and you need to solve real world problems. If you want to study any subject for that matter, you cannot forego mathematics. See, many people have the habit of saying, I don't like mathematics, I can pursue arts. But you cannot pursue arts today without mathematics. Like many of you were explaining, data analytics is a very, very important subject of the future. Artificial intelligence is a subject which is going to change the entire way education is perceived. See, if you use your ChatGPT, you get all the information. If you want to generate a worksheet, even for teachers, things like ChatGPT gives us so many options. So whatever we want, it is available at our fingertips. So what does that mean? Content is available at our fingertips. So knowing something is no more important. What is important is, what are you going to do with that information? How are you going to use the information to understand the universe? That is what is going to play a major role. See, when computers were introduced, many said people will lose jobs. No, it provided more jobs. Why? Because we learned how to use it in innovative ways. So just like they say mathematics is a language of the universe, it is also the language of innovation. Therefore, it is very, very important that you ask the question why. Anything you learn, you need to wonder about it. Don't accept anything without understanding why it exists. So mathematics is a subject which helps you to understand the language of the real world. As I was mentioning, artificial intelligence is going to take the world, it's already started taking the world by storm. So in order for you to be relevant, it is not enough if you know how to use ChatGPT, but in what innovative ways that you can use artificial intelligence. How creatively you can use artificial intelligence. In what out-of-the-box thinking methods you can use what is available. Many of you have done projects involving Python, creating website. So many different types of projects. That is actual learning. So if you understand what you have done, that itself is a very, very big jump in your learning process, in your learning curve. So project-based learning is extremely important. And India has always been world leaders when it came to mathematical thinking and computational thinking. You know that in India, the number 0 was discovered. The number system, how did the number system come into existence? It all started with a village where they had the cows, they would be sent for grazing, and they will come back, and they need to keep track whether all that went for grazing had come back. That was a basic question. So all questions arise from real life. So how did they handle that? They started making tally marks in the bark of trees. But the more and more number increased, it was becoming increasingly difficult to make the use of tally marks alone. So that was when the concept of How many numbers can you have? You can't have infinitely many. Keep on having, uncountable number of, counting something. So what happened? The place value, the concept of place value came into existence, and it originated only in India. And it went on to what is now presently known as Iran, Iraq, the concept of numbers, that when this knowledge reached Europe, it became to be known as Arabian number system. Why? Because it went from Iran and Iraq to Europe. But where did it originate? It originated in India. Then later on, of course, it became known as Indo-Arabic number system and so on. So the problem of numbering itself, the very basic question in mathematics itself, was solved by our ancestors, and it originated in India. So today, whatever field you choose, whether it is engineering, and like Bayes' theorem, the girl who talked about Bayes' theorem was talking about how it can be used in medicine. So if you want to become an engineer, if you want to become a doctor, if you want to study geometry, geography, how can you study geography without predicting weather and climate? So any subject you study, it will at some point lead you to knowledge of mathematics. So it's extremely important that you learn to appreciate the beauty of mathematics. Now many of you also illustrated about the application of mathematics in computer science as well. If you look at Python, artificial intelligence that we are talking about, all these subjects, what is the basic structure around which these subjects are built? It is the binary system. And what is binary system? Again, you know that it is a part of basic mathematics. So mathematics is beautiful. So what is the purpose of your learning? The purpose of your learning is to find that beauty. If you learn mathematics and computer science in the right way, in the experiential way, by doing experiments. Experiments is not restricted only to physics and chemistry. You can make experiments, conduct experiments in mathematics and come up with a understanding of the world. So the more you think about, ask questions, the more you experiment, the more you wonder why, and the more you move towards mathematics, it is going to help in whatever stream of education that you are doing, whatever subject you want to pursue in the future. This will form your basis. Whether you want to study data analytics, whether you want to study archaeology, okay, then you will have to know mathematics. So do not worry about marks, do not study for marks, do not be focused only about marks, but be more focused about actual learning and knowledge gaining. It is very much within your hands. The more you think about what is happening around you, the more you find answers, then your learning is the trajectory of your learning is going to be on the rise. So it was a wonderful projects I saw today, right from the kindergarten, the smaller little ones to class 11 students who have worked extremely hard. I hope you will continue to be learning. I hope you will continue to be excited by mathematics, excited by computer science. Then your career and your life is made. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you, sir, once again for this opportunity. I really enjoyed myself thoroughly, and I appreciate all your efforts. Wishing you the very best.
Thank you for our panel placement, and also to mathematically analyze the relationship between
the efficiency from 10% to 25%.
Methodology. So we conducted a survey of 100 members including parents and teachers for 3 days, and we used primary and secondary data for our survey. Primary data included the questionnaire with face-to-face interviews and offline forms, and in the secondary data, we gathered some information from research organization and government reports.
This is the data analysis of our survey. So most of the people said no for using current energy. And what is the main source of information? Adoption barrier, main barrier of preventing adoption. Government policies and subsidies. Which is the factor important for your home for considering social energy? Advantage of solar energy. Households electricity bill, the difference. So many people told that about 40 to 60% of the electricity bill has been reduced. And many people suggested rooftop solar products because it is mostly useful. And many people told if there are mostly many awareness programs, they could have installed it too. Now we have mathematics involved in solar panel fixation. First, solar radiation and units. The solar radiation is measured in watts per square meter, and the solar intensity is equal to energy by area into 10. In India, average solar radiation ranges between 800 to 1000 km/h.
Second one is angle tiltation. So to maximize the solar energy, the solar panel should be facing the sun directly, and it also depends on the latitude of the location. In summer, the latitude should be decreased by 10 degree, and in winter, the latitude should be increased by 10 degree.
Direction fixation. As India lies in the northern hemisphere, the sun rises at the southern part of the sky. So mathematically, the received radiation depends on the concise of the angle between sunlight and the panel surface, which is I equals to I naught by cos theta.
Then is the area required to fix the panel. So if the area of one panel is 2 meter into 1 meter, then the total area will be 2 meters square. And so for the n number of panels, the total area will be n into 2.
Power and energy production. For example, if each solar panel has a rating of 330 watts, and we are going to calculate it per year, 12 months, total power is equal to 12 into 330, which is 3.96 kilowatts. As the average sunlight in India is 5 hours per day, we are going to calculate the daily energy, 3.96 into 5, which is 19.8 kilowatts.
Then is the efficiency calculation. So efficiency is calculated in terms of percentage. And the formula is for the n number of panels, the efficiency will be output power by input solar power into 100%. If the input is 1800 watts and the output is 360 watts, then the number of panels n will be 360 by 1800 into 100 equal to 20%.
Shadow calculation. So the shadows reduce panel efficiency and must be mathematically avoided. The shadow length is equal to height of the object by tan, and solar panels must always be installed 7 meters away to prevent shading losses.
Electricity bill variation. So the monthly solar generation is 594 units and original consumption is 600 units. Therefore, the remaining good usage should be 6 units. Therefore, the solar panels will reduce 95% of electricity bill.
Last but not least, the lifespan of solar panels. For calculating the lifespan of solar panels, the formula is remaining efficiency is equal to 100 minus degradation rate into years. So, if the even initial efficiency is equal to 100% and the average degradation per year is 0.5%, the formula would be remaining efficiency equal to 100 minus 0.5 into the number of years.
Applications or real-life uses of mathematics in solar panel fixation is rooftop solar panel using area and angle calculations, and also the shading avoiding is used in trigonometric shadow analysis, and cost optimization using unitary methods.
The results including optimal tilt angles in the energy output, a shadow analysis prevents major efficiency loss, and mathematical model confirms that solar energy is cost effective and sustainable.
This study study proves that solar energy systems depend heavily on mathematics, and some systems like trigonometry, algebra, geometry and averages are essential for designing the efficient solar energy systems.
The limitations of the study assumes constant sunlight loss and efficiency loss due to dust loss, weather variations, and only basic models are used.
Conclusion is mathematics plays a vital role in development and optimization of solar energy, and concepts such as trigonometry, geometry and many more are used to analyze the sunlight, determine the optimal panel angles and estimate the energy, etc.
The future scope of this study is that the use of calculus for real-time energy optimization, AI-based mathematical algorithms for smart solar tracking, and integration of solar data into smart grid systems.
These are all the references that we took.
And the main references were National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, PV system modeling, and Duffy JA and Delbert WA, solar engineering of thermal processes. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Happy morning, I am Sayyid Siddiq. I am Dusty Aga.
And I'm Sachin.
We are from class 11 and we are going to be discussing about the app we created. This app was created by Sasti Raghav and Sachin. This is an immersive and interactive functional app which is useful for every person regardless of the age. People will have a problem in forgetting, and they'll have a problem in reminding themselves to complete certain tasks and complete it in a certain period of time. This app helps in that. So I present to you all a reminder. This is the main interface of the app. This is the dashboard, the first page of the app. This is divided into 3 equal parts. First is the pending reminders. This shows all the pending tasks that is yet to be completed, and this is the second part, the completed reminders. This displays all the reminders which are completed from your task list and which are tasked. This is the future reminder. This is the future reminder, which shows all the upcoming list of tasks which are yet to be completed. This is the graph. This is there for a visual representation of the graph and all the tasks that is yet to be completed. This is a beautiful and colorful graph. Second is the personal reminders. This is tailored for the needs of every single individual who uses the app. And first we have the medication manager, which is useful for old people who have medical problems and who have memory loss that they cannot remind themselves to take medicine. This acts as a reminder. So for example, I will show you a reminder. As you can see, as you fill all the details and set reminder, it will give you a reminder in a few minutes or how many times you have had it. And second, we have and this is the reminder. So as you can see, there is a snooze button and there is a done button and a snooze button. And this is a snooze button which you can customize minutes. It postpones the time when the reminder is due, and then there is a done button which shows us that a task is done, and a dismiss button which cancels the task. And second we have cash dwellers. As most of you know that people take loans every now and then, and they can't keep track of the payments. So this helps in keeping track of the payments to ensure that they don't pay extra penalties. And second, we have the license and registration counter. This shows that the due date to register for a certificate or license or any other certification that is required. And then we have the saving goods. As most of you know, saving is a vital part in our life. And to ensure that we save every day, this certain section is used. And then we have the Pomodoro system, which is a study timetable which is used for make sure that we are studying with a certain interval of times and there's a specific gap between every study section. It's a personal work, we can customize it to use whatever you have. If you have certain works and certain things that need to be done, you can use this section. And the book duty. This is every single section of this is personally and tailored for every single person's need. And then we have the agri sequencer. This is a certain separate section dedicated for the agriculturists and farmers who have a huge piece of land for agriculture. This ensures that every single crop and field they cultivate in is calculated and shown in the task group. As you can see, if this is a task, if you just set mark, it will show the dashboard. As you can see, every single task has been listed here. The completed task, the pending reminders, we go down. This is the every single task is shown in this visual representation. This app is still in mid-stage development and will be launched in early 2026. We are going to be adding many features and many other additions, and we will make sure that every single person is available to this app, and my fellow programmers Sachin and Sakti have created that. I'm the first person to have tested this app, so if there are any other questions and queries about the app, please do ask.
Actually, wonderful app. So my question is, in Google also we have the same setting of setting reminders for our work. We have alarms in our phone. So what is the excess speciality about this app exceeding reminders?
Humans prefer data to be presented in a graphical manner, but in those apps that you say I mentioned, to show data in a textual manner, which humans prefer because they like anything colorful.
We also have the option to export it in the Excel, which converts this graph into a text format, and we also have the option to export this as images. I'll just assure you that this is still stage development. We have to yet develop it, and we're going to make it better and more useful for you all.
Yeah, no, my question is, see, I don't have time to even check my own works. I'm setting reminder for it. So why will I go into the app and see all the graph and Excel sheet to just get reminded of my work?
It's your preference. If you want to use it, you can use it. But it is easier. It's used for those who are having a memory loss problem, who are not very familiar with reminding themselves to do tasks. If you are well aware to do tasks, you can do it. But this is mainly for those who are not reminding themselves to complete tasks, or have a bit of a memory problem. So this is a sort of app for that.
Wonderful app. Thank you.
Scene 1. Selection of batsmen.
Here is the statistical table of batsman A and batsman B scores in the last 10 matches. So we are going to see how a team selects a batsman to the playing 11. Here, this batsman A's score in the past 10 matches: 45, 15, 55, 60, 48, 52, 58, 62 and 54 and 56. And batsman B has scored 20, 95, 10, 85, 30, 90, 15 and century 25, 18. So for first step will be calculating the average of the batsman in the last 10 matches. That is the mean. Adding all the 10 matches divided by 10 will give the mean, that is the average of the batsman A is 54 and average of batsman B is 55. But one of the main aspects for selecting a batsman for playing is the consistency of the batsman. So this consistency of batsman is calculated through the deviation of batsman and the standard deviation formula with summation into x minus x bar the whole square. So as per standard deviation, batsman A has deviation 5 and batsman B has deviation 35.
Team A has won the toss and choose to bat first.
Let us read the mathematical concepts behind tossing the coin, shall we?
Sure, we all know that the coin toss is a mathematical principle of probability. If the heads and tails are equally like the outcome in a probability, so the event of the probability will be 1 by 2, whether it will be a head or a tail.
Scene 3, run rate.
The bowler balls the ball. What a shot! That's a boundary! After the end of 10 overs, the run score stands by 72 runs.
Speaking of runs, now it's time to calculate the run rate.
Yeah. The run rate is calculated by dividing the total runs scored by the team A by the total overs played by the team. As we all know, 72 in 10 overs. 72 divided by 10 will give 7.2, that is the run rate of team A.
Scene 4, geometry of ball trajectory.
The bowler balls the ball, the batter misses it and it touches the pad. Bowler climbs for an out, the decision with the umpire.
Bowling action resembles the shape of parabola. What other mathematical concepts can be seen here?
Yes, it is the shape of a parabola. In Diaz method, the height, angle and distance decides whether the batsman is out or not out, as the bowler bowls straight to the pad below the height of the stump, therefore it is out.
Umpire made the decision. It's a wicket.
Scene 5, when rain interrupts the match.
Oops, what an interesting match. Interrupted by it.
The players are waiting for the umpire to make a decision using DLS method.
DLS method is used when the rain stops the game. In this case, we know that Team A has scored 150 runs in 20 overs. They have utilized 100% of their resources. And Team B has scored 72 runs in 10 overs. And they have going to play 18 overs, which is 90% of the resources are left. So, we calculate DLS to the formula Team 1 scored into Team 2's resources divided by Team 1's resources. Here, we substitute the formula 150 into 90 by 100, which gives me 135, and the revised target for Team B will be 136.
Scene 6, net run rate.
We are at the end of the match. Team A has scored 150 runs in 20 overs, so the run rate will be 7.5. And Team B scores 134 runs in 18 overs, so the run rate will be 7.4.
Here, after the result of the match, net run rate plays a crucial role where it shows which team qualifies for a playoff. Net run rate is calculated by the difference of net run rate of Team A by run rate of Team B. So 7.5 minus 7.4 gives 0.1. This is added to the winning team and minus to the losing team.
So here we can understand that no matter who wins the match, it depends on the net run rate who goes to players. So as we conclude, we'd like to say that cricket is not just a game of bat and ball, but a game which involves mathematics. So next time you're watching cricket, remember you're watching mathematics in action. Thank you.
Thank you. I am Sarvesh and I'll be speaking on cyber awareness. In today's world, internet is present everywhere, from entertainment and education to communication and online transactions. While internet offers us many opportunities, it also has certain risks with it. Recently in March 25, there was a data leakage from National Defense Association of weapon blueprints which are totaled up to 4.2 terabytes. Cyber awareness is no longer an option. It is a required skill for our daily life. With awareness, being aware helps us protect our personal information, our identity and our reputation online.
And do you know what is identity, sir? Does anybody know what is identity?
Using wrong identity.
We can see many are there on Instagram and Facebook with Sheila, Mala, Geeta, right?
These threats are common but can affect anyone who are careless. How to strengthen our digital defenses? We should have strong passwords with uppercase, lowercase, alphanumeric and numeric letters. And use two-factor authorizations. What is two-factor authorization? It's nothing but if you log in your account into some other device, it requires an activation code from your mobile. It is just another layer of protection for your privacy and personal information. And data privacy is nothing but being mindful on what you post on social media. Social media plays a major role in our lives. Social media can convert anything you post into digital footprints and it stays forever in the internet. And there are a lot of fake profiles too. Who you think is cool or great might not even exist. It might be just AI. Legal awareness is that in India, under IT Act 2000, if any crime is committed, it should be reported in cyber security to the helplines because it has legal consequences. Beyond the basics, many other ways are there to prevent someone giving a cyber threat to you. Those are update your software regularly because outdated software make it easier for the hackers to hack in the software and get your personal information. Using secure networks, public networks make it easier for the hackers to log into your PC and get your information. Backing up your data is another way to not lose your data. So finally, it is our responsibility to build a safe digital future for the next generation by being educated, by being aware and educating others. Thank you for your time and attention.